Welcome back to my Final Fantasy XIV drama series. Today's drama story is about Carrie Jerry. If you enjoy these kinds of videos, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. If you're a raider, this one is probably a story for you. Alright, let's begin. I started recruiting members for Dragon Song Ultimate a couple of weeks before the release of the fight. While initially ensuring to make sure that every member was experienced enough and had experience under high-stress situations and new fights, I had to ask my friend to help me with recruitment due to my grandfather having a workplace accident and being in a coma. Otherwise, I would never have recruited this player at all, who I'll call Jerry, because Jerry was being carried through his ultimate clears. He managed to get a 0 parse without dying in a fight and had 11 out of 12 gray parses, with most of them having 0 deaths. I do think ultimates are quite hard, so like having a gray parse is not extremely terrible, but I think you have to definitely see how they play. Oh, 0 without dying? Okay, yeah, that's pretty bad. Yeah, but I have grays. They're not 0, but I have grays. Anyways, due to the incident with my grandfather, I also did not have the time to hold trials, which I honestly should have, and instead just had a team bonding experience with doing min eye level no echo stuff, to which Jerry was already showing red flags. But we just brushed it off and hoped he would get better during the actual fight itself. Fast forward to DSR release, these are just some of the issues we had with Jerry. 1. Jerry doesn't listen to people. From day 1 itself, we could hear his in-game sounds. So we've already told him to turn on push to talk multiple times, and to our latest session yesterday, he has still yet to do that. I've already given up on saying it. If you've seen this fight, you will know there is a lot of RNG factors in the fight, and there are a lot of adjustments needed in the ad phase for the lasers and in Thornton for towers. There has been many times when somebody has already clearly called out they're going to X, and then Jerry will come in 5 seconds later saying he's going to where X is, even though it was already called out. This has been happening since day 1, and we have told him, pay attention, and he still hasn't changed and still overrides others, leading to many wipes. This isn't like something that just happens like a couple of times. I'm not exaggerating when I say it's easily in the dozens, which then led to wipes if the other person didn't manage to adjust in time. 2. Jerry always claims to have read up on guides, videos, strats that we're doing, but when we get to them in the game, he is completely lost. And while yes, people won't get used to doing mechanics until they've seen them multiple times, he can wipe to something over and over and then still doesn't understand what is happening to him even after claiming to have read up on the guides / videos / strats. For example, in Fire and Ice, when we go in to take the inner towers, we have already taken the time to say that we'll be taking the nearest clockwise towers so that nobody overlaps. He doesn't listen, and he just takes any random tower, leading to a wipe. That despite us clearly clarifying it before the pull, and he said he didn't know. This is just a single example, and there's many other times when it happened. 3. Jerry doesn't understand how to properly optimize and play his job. Since we're still progging, we are only using pots and burst windows on the reopener to practice Nidhogg mechanics, and the times where we all died to Thordan and Rage. The boss was at 0.1%, and Jerry did not use his 2 mins buff, in brackets Searing Light, and started saying stuff like he wanted to go through his 3 primals first before using his Bahamut, then using Searing Light, which is the enrage timer and is completely out of the burst window. He claims to have watched videos and guides, so he should have known that the enrage happens soon after the reopener, and he won't have time to go through his primals. If you were to say that it was the first time, so he might have been lost, sure, I can agree with that, but it happened multiple times, with the last time barely killing it before enrage timer because we used melee LB. plus a searing light that came out 5 seconds before the enrage cast. This sounds so intense and lots of details. Like, I feel like someone who's done DSR knows exactly what's happening, or also who plays Summoner. I've never played in DSR Ultimate and I don't play Summoner. So I'm like, yes, it sounds like this person just doesn't know much about their job, but at the same time, I can't say much because I don't play the job also myself. 4. Jerry's connection issue is also another problem. While it is true that people can't control their internet issues, we have suggested to him multiple times to try using a different VPN compared to the one that he is using now, since that might be a solution. Till this day, he still has yet even to try changing to a different VPN. I believe we told him to try another VPN in like the 3rd or 4th session. It was our 7th session before I kicked him, and he still did not even bother to try a different VPN. A month after removing Jerry from the static, he started messaging me on Discord as though to tell me that I was wrong for removing him and that I should have kept him. Like, was I really going to waste 7 other people's time just to try have faith in him? I actually learned that Jerry was quite infamous on the Elemental server. I had friends giving me screenshots of people complaining about him either through PF or just being in a static with him. It's never Jerry's fault apparently, and that everybody else is the one who don't believe him and they're just not being patient enough with him. I ignored his DM. Then Jerry stalks my Discord messages. How does someone stalk your Discord messages? As well as my FF logs. Jerry stalked their FF logs daily to see when they cleared DSR, and then proceeded to bug their static members about it. Jerry was just not getting the hint that we just wanted to move on away from him. Our static managed to clear in July, while he cleared in 6.2 after the new food and pots were added alongside better gear to allow him to survive his mistakes. I think I and many others have learned to stay away from Jerry when it comes to serious raiding now. Yeah, like when it comes to raiding and it just sounds like someone is like, oh, I hate this person and stuff like that. It's like, you just gotta let go of them and just be done with it. Everyone experiences it. Like, some people are not ready. There's a lot of things to learn. It almost feels bad, like you're picking on someone to an extent. But apparently this person has a reputation. Yeah, apparently in that server he has a reputation, and he's just been playing with a lot of different groups, and a lot of different groups don't like him. So I don't know. Maybe there's no changing for that person. There's no learning. For me, I feel like I'm in an awkward position to be like giving my thoughts about it. Because I mean, we've all been there. We've all been there. Like, we've either been like a noob or experienced a player like that. Like, if you're kicked, move on. Log stalking your old group is just unhealthy. That definitely is true. Like, I think it was weird that he was still messaging his old static. Like, hey, it was wrong of you guys to kick me. That part was definitely weird. You should just move on. He's trying to make them feel bad for kicking him. As a raid leader in another game, it's very frustrating when people don't admit to their faults or mistakes. I agree with that too. Like, if you say, oh, my bad, that's my bad there, or even say, oh yeah, I was meant to do this, but I didn't, then at least it like kind of lets everyone know that you know how to do the mechanic. You just did like a human error. That happens to everyone. But if they're consistently doing the same mess up, like in a row, it's like, oh my God, you really don't know what to do there, and someone has to like teach it. And then if they're still messing up even after being taught, it's like, oh my goodness, what can you do? It's hard to have a lot of patience with that. They're just consistently messing up. Yeah, this is a really cozy spot. I like it. Who brought the marshmallows? Too bad you can't eat while hanging out on the fireplace like this. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this Final Fantasy XIV drama story. If you have any of your own drama stories that you'd like me to share and read out anonymously, feel free to reach out to my Discord, discord.gg/Pathra. And if you would like to support the content by tipping, feel free to join and become a YouTube member with some perks.